different. Spent like 10 years grinding, covered in diamonds, never been mining. Came through, man, still shining. But I was in home for the house of the pack, and now I'm in Dubai liming. Me and Hez landed abroad, 2 new kettles, perfect timing. You can catch me in Central.
Why do we eat? Some would say we eat to live, to survive. But I would say we eat to feed the parasite that is within. Now, everything that we eat rots, so why do we eat it if we are living organisms? It doesn't make sense. We need to be something living to keep us living. Dead food that rots makes us die. Simple. Then it gets you to the point where when we do die and we're in an airtight coffin, why do the maggots eat our flesh, rotting flesh? Unless they already live within us. Where else would they have come from? Now, it's safe to say that we are sick. Our whole world dies young, is messed up. The knowledge we have around us is limited, so we cannot learn more about ourselves. They teach us so much about the outside, which all stems from darkness because, as we've seen, it's all about murdering and killing and all of that madness. Simple. Right now, the only thing I trust is me within. So this is why I'm about to do a 30-day fast where I eat nothing and drink nothing. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defy no death like David Blaine. He's proven that our bodies can do so much more. Simple. What I'm trying to do is cleanse myself from the parasite. I understand everything's a process and maybe the parasite might not all come out, but then at least I'm unclogging myself worth of 30 years of madness. Now, when I massage, my stomach is hard. Why is it hard? Unless it's clogged up, blocked up. Simple. I've done my detox, I've done my massaging, I've done the training, I've done so much, but still there's something within that needs to flush out. This is why I'm doing it to this extreme, as you say. But people have to understand that food is a drug. I've conditioned myself to a point where it's like I'm stopping drugs now because all it does is feed the mind. For example, you eat something, your mind is telling you, it's tasty, it's good, and then you're feeding the parasite, so it's connected with each other. When your tummy rumbles, what happens? You want to eat. But if you forget about that voice, that feeling for half an hour, you won't feel hungry anymore. You'll only feel hungry when you tell yourself, oh, have I eaten? So it's safe to say that our mind is compromised. We are at a fight with self to understand self, but none of us take time to learn the voices within. We're too busy listening to the voices outside of self that stem from darkness, that have orchestrated us to act out this madness in life. Now it's so simple. I'm just going to go with it and flow, and every day share a minute of how I feel about what I'm doing. Today is day 4. I started on the 18th of December. Today is a Monday. Now, don't get me wrong. My mind is telling me, what you're doing, you're crazy, you're going to kill yourself. This is why the mind is compromised. But then my body's telling me, what? Shut up, you've conditioned yourself enough for this. My heart is telling me, look, if you're thirsty, put your hand here, pick up a bottle of water, open it up. Take a small sip. Be disciplined. Do not take the piss out of yourself. You know yourself best. You know what you're capable of. Simple. So now, without any further ado, I'm going to kick in my documentary.
Got it. We all have to quarantine together for 2 weeks. You don't want to infect your families, do you? You were all exposed to a student here who was taken to the hospital due to COVID.
Yes.
We were there, and Token was actually taken to the hospital because you guys shot him.
Yes, due to COVID. If it weren't for COVID, all the previous teachers would have still been here. We wouldn't have been in the class, and nobody would have gotten shot. It was COVID related.
That doesn't make any sense.
Mass vaccinations, depopulation, denomination. These fees follow Satan. Save me. This is modern day slavery. They really want to chip and pin my baby. The mark of the beast. Scriptures from the Bible. They follow fake prophets and worship false idols. The rich still profit. The mass is suicidal. The future ain't promised. We fight for survival. ID 2020, Agenda 21. They ain't care, they decided fooling anyone. They ain't scared, they ain't out, it's fooling everyone. It's do or die and I'll be there when that setting comes. Still sleep,
day.
Yo, people. So today my mind feels heavy, like it is annoying me. My body's still doing everything it wants to do. So I'm cool. But I want to quieten the mind. I want to massage, chill out, and do my thing. I want to go toilet, but I feel clogged up. I just can't go toilet. So I've got myself one of these, weed sweet. I'm not trying to promote drugs. It's just gonna help me with what I'm doing. So if you want to talk rubbish, oh, you're poisoning yourself still, well, shut up. Everything is poison. Simple. Everything is killing us. Everything is poisoning us. So we have to find a way to get off the poison. Unfortunately, this is what we got to do because we are so compromised through thousands of years worth of conditioning to make us this sick version of who we are. So I'm gonna eat my sweet now. Haha. It smells so good. They tell us the route to our hearts is through our stomach. They are not lying. There is something that is connecting the heart and the stomach together because whenever I massage the heart, the stomach starts to twinge. So then obviously something's up. Now they've connected everything to our stomach. This is why it is so messed up. That's why we have to eat. Now, if you look closely here, there's like lumps and whatnot. If you check yourselves, you'll see a big block in the middle like that. It will kind of blend in, but if you kind of feel around, you will realize it's raised. That is down to the fact that there's something in here that is bruising it. Due to this calcification here, this bruising.
The next day.
I weighed myself today. It is the 5th day and I'm 70 kilos. Now I've always been conscious of my body size. I've maintained a body size for like 10 years and all of a sudden I'm losing weight. So me being skinny is probably freaking me out. My mind is telling me, oh, you know, it's okay throwing images in my mind, but I'm like, allow me, what are you talking about? My body feels fine, it's just you playing up with me. So I had a little sip of a bit of juice and that was it. I share everything I eat and drink on here, so it's simple. But bottom line is, our mind is hypnotized, controlled, messed up, fighting against us. The minute we doubt ourselves, it attacks. Simple. Now, people give too much power to the mind. The mind is something that we need to be in control of, and we are not in control of. Everyone is hypnotized thinking that they are. Now, my calves hurt a little bit today, so I'm going to massage them out and concentrate on that. They feel a bit numb. Anyway, time is up.
The next day.
Everybody loves to know what car you drive. So, the car I drive is a one of a kind. It is a BMW 3 Series. Silver. This silver is like no other silver. It was specially made. There's no other silver out there in the world like this silver. There's no other car out there in the world like this car. It has a V24 engine powered by a 36-litre engine. Some would say there is not enough money in the whole world to buy a car like this. Listen to that noise. You probably can't hear my voice over it. Why not?
The next day.
Yo, I'm in Gatwick Airport. Now, what I've learned recently about life is everyone has their own destiny to live. Regardless if you agree with something or not, you've got to let them live their destiny. This is life. Everyone has their own path to play, their own life to live. What I'm finding is whenever I have an emotional unbalancement or feel an emotion, I feel hungry. Now that shows me that everything is linked together. To make things simple, imagine your stomach being Spider-Man. It shoots a web to your mind, it shoots a web to your heart, and it shoots a web to your private parts. Everything is locked and interlinked together. This is why it's so important that we shed this weight and start massaging and cleansing our bodies, go back to basics and then grow naturally again. Now, I can sit here and make this sound so complex, but I decide to make things simple because they are simple. Unfortunately in life, people love to talk out their gluteus maximus and use these fancy words to pretend that they're smarter than they're not. But it doesn't make sense. Why complicate something that is simple? Other than that you want to brainwash people. Now imagine, you're watching a TV interview and all of a sudden you hear this fancy word. You go on your phone and start Googling and figuring out what that word means. But then all of a sudden, you've missed the whole interview. You don't know what the point of the interview was. In return, what was the point? To brainwash people. Like, what's the spell? Big words, fancy words, so what? We want the truth. Basic truth, simple truth. We all understand simple stuff. Why do we overcomplicate it? Over time, simple, done.
Later.
I was just sick. But what's mad is I've probably had 3 or 4 sips of the tiniest bit of juice or water. But hold up, I was sick about 1.5 litres, maybe even 2 litres now. It was weird, telling you, strange. Our bodies are so poisoned and messed up. We really have to start to learn to reevaluate everything that we think we know.
The next day.
Today is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow will be a week since I've been doing this. Throughout the week, I've been feeling tired, as in my mind is tired, as in I just want to sleep, I don't want to concentrate too much, or I spend most of my time massaging. But that is understandable because I've stopped feeding the parasite within, so naturally I'm going to get tired. But it doesn't make sense how I can still keep going as I do. I see the odd shooting light here and there, have a little sip of something, and then I feel cool, I feel fine. It's not like stars where you feel faint. It's weird, it's different. But bottom line is, a lot we have to restudy about self. Now, I've learned that if you remain calm in self, you don't feel hungry anymore. So it's not about being happy, sad or anything. You just got to keep a balance of emotions. And since I was sick yesterday, I feel like I got a new lease of life. It feels like something come out of me. I feel good.
The next day.
What are you doing? I want Pringles. So that is what I wake up to, staring me in the face every morning. Now imagine how annoying that could be. You must have some serious willpower. and it takes serious willpower to do what I'm doing. Put it this way, had I not done the detox, had I not done the 30 days of silence, had I not known how to massage correctly, and that is something that is complex and has a lot of layers and levels to it, and you grow and learn and become better. But yeah, had I not done all of this, I would not be able to achieve what I'm achieving. I would not be able to go 7 days without eating or drinking. It's simple. I might have the odd little sip, but that is it. It doesn't add up nor make sense. This is like drugs, basically, getting off food. That's how difficult it is. And you have to bear in mind that it's taken me years to condition myself this way. It's just I didn't realise to what extent I'm working towards, because my goal was different. My goal was to heal, for example, cancer. Now I'm at a stage where I can heal cancer with doing the stages that I've shown. But now my goal is different. Release the parasite. Immortality. Never die. That is my new goal now. But again, everything changes. We grow, we learn, we become better. We can never stop growing. And that is our downfall in life. We all think that it's enough. We've reached our potential now. Stop growing. I will always keep growing. Forever keep growing, because this is basic information. This is stuff that we should have learned as children. Unfortunately, we didn't. Now we have to teach ourselves. And remember, I can show you everything, but if you do not have the discipline in self to teach and learn for yourself, you can never do nothing. And this is life in general.
The next day.
The lightest I've been since I was 15. When I was 15, I was a lot skinnier than I am now, so it doesn't make sense how I've still got this mass around me. But other than the simple fact that we do not know much about our bodies, the past couple of days I've been rearranging the whole house, helping out my mum, and I've had the energy that I can pull and pick up things that I never was able to pick up before, as in more strength, as in I can feel different muscles active, working, doing their job, that weren't doing their job before due to the fact that I had all this weight around me. So what is our natural body size? This is the real question we must ask. Too many people are too overweight and they don't realise it. It's slowing them down, not making them the best version of self. Ultimately, you want to be the healthiest version of self. You don't just want to look good and be sick. You want to be good, clean, powerful. And what I'm doing makes sense. Don't forget, I'm healing self right now because I'm cleansing from this food drug. So it's tiring for me. So after I've done like rearrange the whole house for a couple of 3 hours, all of a sudden I'm in bed for a couple of hours trying to rejuvenate myself, get myself back again. So I've been upping the dosage. I've probably had a few more extra sips instead of like a quarter of a glass, half a glass. So still not much.
Later.
There's people out there that do things because their families have brought them up to do it. There's people out there that do things because they're done on specific dates. There's people out there that do things because they fear time and they want to do it when they're not ready. And there's people out there that do things just for the show. Now, that sounds like a bunch of brainwashed people contradicting self. Yet these are the people that are sharing knowledge and teaching the whole world. How does that make sense? Now, what I'm doing is different. The knowledge I'm getting is not from outside of self, it's from within. As I've surpassed all knowledge from outside of self. I've had people guide me on the right path, but nonetheless, I've taught myself. I've shown myself, sharing to you guys what I'm learning from self in order for me to prepare myself to heal self from all darkness, as in prepare the body to take the ether soul energy for once I release it. And then I will not burn up and die because everything around me is ready. I'm prepared, mind, body, everything. And I understand there's people out there that do this fast, and you can say, oh, other people do this, the Hindu tribe, for example, but you have to understand they've had their knowledge passed down from generation to generation, so they're more like the martial artists that are ninjas and all of that. They've been born up into it, but they don't truly understand what they're doing, releasing the heart energy. They're just doing it for a trend. They still die the same as everyone else. Now, that is not my goal. I'm not the same as them. It might sound similar, but it's completely different. I'm trying to release my soul, have that ether energy flow through me. Had anyone else been doing this, they've already done it now because they've been passed this knowledge down from generation to generation to generation. But again, they are worshipping outside of self, calling upon their temples, calling upon their deities, Vishnu and Krishna, and all of that, still that stem from darkness without them doing their full understanding, evaluation, and knowledge based gathering. Simple stuff. This is why this is different. This is why you guys need to be prepared. Prepare yourselves. Or not. It's your loss.
The next day.
We've watched films when the person on the field has a go at the person behind the office saying that they don't know better because they're not in the field. Now imagine those who sit in libraries all day just reading books, studying about calories, about fat, about protein, about minerals, studying about where everything goes in its rightful place in the body, but never actually feeling around the body to see, wait, hold up, our organs are not what they seem they are. They don't feel the same as they look in the image. And how is that so big? Where is it hiding? Like, how's our intestines so long? Where are they? Like, it doesn't add up. I felt around my body. I understand different. Unfortunately, all these people, all they do is get an opinion because they think they know it all because they've read 1,000 books, but never been out on the field and experimented on self. Now, it's simple stuff. Today's day 11 or 10? Day 10, I think. But bottom line is, I've survived with no food, no drink. Water retention is what's calcifying up our joints and making us have arthritis and stuff like that. It is simple. Our bodies are inflamed due to what we eat and what we drink. We need to reevaluate everything. Remember, we are a physical body, as in the third dimension body. So it will take time, but we have to open up the heart energy, the soul to be released for us to be our rightful bodies.
The next day.
Today is day 11. Now, I've managed to go to the toilet twice in the 11 days. Now, I feel there's something clogging me up that needs to be released. So I was thinking, should I do a juice quick? But then I don't want to flood myself with so much liquid. And also, fruit and veg, all of these so-called superfoods are just as bad for our body as anything else. They may digest quickly, but nonetheless, they're still poisoning our system as they're alien to the system, as they are not natural to this earth. So in return, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm going on a cleanse. Why would I fill it up with more poison? So instead of that, I'm doing a castor oil thing. Now, remember, people, as much as they pretend they don't like to judge, they all judge people and all try to force their opinions on people, like the vegetarians and the meat eaters and this and that. Let everyone live their lives. You know, the only difference between those who eat clean and not clean on today's society is that the ones that eat supposedly clean will live an extra 10, 20 years, let's say, for argument's sake. But nonetheless, you still all die. And that is not the purpose of us being here. We have been cursed by this death. It's simple. People don't believe in magic, but magic exists. And again, people want to talk about superfoods and talk about this and talk about that. It's wrong. There is no superfood that's going to allow you to become better. I'm here proving it. I've had no vitamins, I've had nothing. So people need to start reevaluating the situation, or just sitting there, living their lives and let other people live their lives to figure out the truth, because this right and wrong opinionated society is getting us into a lot of trouble, and people don't realise it, but in 10 years to come, they will understand why they got us into a lot of trouble. It don't make sense. Anyway, let me drink this, okay? So this is that castor oil stuff. Oh, and by the way, it's also good for the hair. It helps it grow thick and strong. Oh, this shit is disgusting.
The next day.
That castor oil worked like magic yesterday. I was busy all day, to say the least. Now, talking about magic, in the Hindu religion, they talk about reincarnation. So that's something that you die, come back, die, come back. So they tell us that death is a curse. In other words, because it doesn't add up or make sense. Why would you repeat this chaotic life over and over again, surrounded by people who lie to self, pretend they're happy when they're not? I'm happier and I'm going through my healing process when I should be like going through madness. So it doesn't add up or make sense. If that is life and I've got to repeat, then opt me out of that now. So this is why I don't want to die. This is why I have to heal self, because death is a curse and I'm breaking through that curse. Now, the Hindu religion is still stemming from darkness. That'll probably be the new trend everyone's going to jump on, but nonetheless, no one's telling us how to heal ourselves. Everyone thinks they can heal self, but no one knows how to heal self. I'm still learning and I'm doing all this madness. So people need to start understanding there's so much knowledge that we do not know and we need to relearn and understand.
The next day.
So today is day 13. Now I'm starting to focus a lot better, as in I can hear and see things more clearly, a lot better. It's just mad. Now, I know people say, oh, it's a bit extreme, but again, don't forget my body's been through a lot of different things. And for me right now, you don't have to do the 30-day fast, whatever, but I need to do it because my body's out of shape, out of alignment. So for me to lose this weight, it's all clicking back in place. Alongside with me massaging, which is helping a lot, it's just doing me wonders. And that's the thing. Yeah, after this, I might be really skinny. I can put that all back on. But then at least my body structure will be growing in its rightful position, you know. And that is the purpose of me doing this, alongside of opening up the heart. But bottom line is, people think that we are in good shape, that we are aligned properly, but think about it. We've been brought up to use left or right hand, so then naturally one side is already stronger. Naturally one side is going to grow wrong. Naturally one side is going to be out of alignment. So imagine spending 30 years living wrong. It's long, and you got to restart the whole body. You really do. Like, it's mad. But then of course you have to condition yourself over time. It's not a quick fix. Like, I thought, oh, I might be able to open up the heart quickly, but deep down I knew I couldn't, like, this quick. It takes time, but, you know, at least I'm aligning the body, I'm seeing clearly, I'm more focused, all of this information. People talk about meditation and, you know, you can get intuitive and all of this. You're still outside of self. You're never going to get nothing. You're going to get the same regurgitated information until you tap in within and come in with the information I'm coming with about death not existing, about us not having to eat, about certain things that I've shown. Then really and truly, you're not coming with anything. You're still brainwashing yourself in order to jump on another trend. Now, it's pure and simple. People can say what they want and do what they want. The world is unfolding as we see. You know, things are simple. Look, Brexit's happened. People are like, oh yeah, cool. But then once they start taxing the food coming in, the food prices are going to go quadruple. You know, and then what are you going to do? With no jobs, it's all chaos out here. It's all major chaos. This is why I prefer to go within, because within I get all the information. Within I can free myself. Within I can do whatever I need to do. I keep going. It's not a quick fix. People think this is a quick fix. People think, oh, meditate 15 minutes a day and I'm healed. And this is why they get depressed and all of this, because they turn vegan, they start doing this, they start doing that, and they don't see any results, as in they don't hear nothing, see nothing. All they see is mayhem and chaos from outside of self, because they're calling from outside of self. And then they see someone like me, oh my God, that looks so stressful. But no, not really. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having the best time because I'm learning so much more about self. You know, life is great, you know, when you really boil it down to the basic truth. When you keep following outside of self, you realise it's all a lie, it's all a con. You're keeping up with the Joneses. You keep running on that hamster wheel, trying to compete with everyone. It's boring. It's stressful. What I'm doing right now is exploring self, understanding self. And in time, I will be what I'm supposed to be. It's a process. It takes time. Be patient. I've learnt this now, that I've got to be patient with what I'm doing and not try to force everything. Even though I'm not forcing nothing, feels right for me to do this because I feel like I have to do this. But nonetheless, it is something that takes time. I can't just take a pill and all of a sudden my soul is released and I'm free. You know, no one teaches us how to free the soul, so I have to teach myself. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing anything and everything that I can to help me get closer to that goal. Have a bag, please.
The next day.
Hey, you guys, you'll never guess what happened yesterday. Well, basically, I went to the shop and all of a sudden, nothing happened. You see how easy it is to pretend to act as though it is the most fun I'm having and everything is so happy. This is what everyone on social media, everyone in the world is doing to you lot, and you lot are like, yeah, in fear of being yourselves, like, be yourselves. It doesn't matter if you fit in or don't fit in. It's important that you be yourselves. Unfortunately, like, I understand. I'm frustrated with it as well. I'm done. Zero tolerance to nonsense and dumb behaviour. Everyone has something to say or judge or pass judgment or tell you how to live your life when they themselves are lying to themselves, are depressed, are sad, are never happy. To be happy, you just be normal. You don't have to overemphasize something that doesn't really exist. Now, talking about all of this, just to show an example, food. When it comes to food, you eat what you can digest. As in, if it takes long to digest, your body is suffering, in return, death. Simple. That's why overindulging in food is not good. You get overweight, you get slow, you get sick, you become ill, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because food is a drug, and that's what it is now. I'm not here to judge people if they eat meat, if they're a vegetarian, if they're vegan, they eat whatever they want. But I'm here to make people aware that the portions you have are way too big. We overindulge. It's just the same as drugs. You won't have so much drugs and then OD, will you? But everyone's ODing on food, and it's messing up their mind, messing up the way they move, messing up the way they think, messing up the whole intuition kind of purpose. But then, again, it doesn't mean you don't eat at all and then die. It doesn't make sense because we're a third physical dimensional body, so we have to eat to survive until the curse is broken and then we're free of this poison. But till then, we have to understand that, for example, a portion of meat would be like 2 chicken wings and a handful of chips. That's a portion you can easily digest. Simple, done. Salad with a juice, a vegetarian vegan option, simply digested, done. You guys over add 4 or 5 meals. You're not digesting, your body is doing the worst. You might as well go eat a steak. It's the same thing. People think it's different, but it ain't. And this is what it is. But then all these people want to pass judgment. Oh, you must become like this, it's better for you. Or become like that, it's better for you. Or you're out of order because you're like this. Shut up. What are you talking about? Not making sense. Like, for example, all that processed vegan meat is basically McDonald's. Go eat at McDonald's then. You wouldn't, would you? But then you're telling people to eat this processed meat? It don't add up or make sense. Like, the answers are so simple, you don't have to do too much research to find this out. But then again, this kind of behaviour forces people to hide who they truly are, makes them depressed, makes them sad, makes them even commit suicide because they're too afraid to be who they are, because they don't have a voice to raise, to share. Shut up, who are you talking to? People need to allow people and let people live their lives. Simple stuff. And this is what's annoying about people right now. And this is what's frustrating, because everyone's pretending to be something they're not and playing this big act, but in reality they're not. And then it's suppressing real people that want to be themselves to the point where they have to commit suicide because they can't be themselves. And this is what's sad about people. But it's sad because humanity want to see people kill themselves. I think they get a thrive from it, a drive from it. They want to go turn up at the funeral and say nice words and this and that and then have a laugh at it after. You know, we are in a very sick, messed up, psychotic society. And this is what I see now. It's simple. Done.
The next day.
So today is New Year's Day. The only day of the year that has magical powers that can make your past year disappear. All the bad that you've done disappear. And it comes with goals to set for the next year that can make you do over the same thing and pretend you haven't. Now, if that doesn't sound like false advertisement, a false miracle, false hope, I don't know what is. We have been built up where we've been trickle-fed advertisement throughout everything we do in our lives. All lies. To buy the same thing over 1 million times. Like, it's the same thing. It tastes the same. But there's 1 million different packages for that same thing. Why does that make sense? And then you want to buy all of them. This is life. We've been conditioned to be consumers throughout our whole lifestyle. What's happening right now with Corona had to happen, because if this didn't happen, this would keep happening and we'd be even worse off in years to come. Like, our generation is all right, but imagine the younger generation, they're submerged right into this advertised consumer lifestyle. We still are, but the younger generation are going to be even more messed up. They're going to be growing up with mental problems, suicidal problems, not that we don't do now, but put it this way, I reckon our generation is the dumbest generation to be put down in history. It will be, because we've allowed so much dumb behaviour to keep happening and we've done it ourselves. So it don't make sense. And if we can't break free from it, Corona comes along to make us break free. And if we can't break free still, then we will go mad and lose our minds. This is why it's so important to be one with self, healed in self, to even work on healing self for the next year, because we're going to be at home for the next year. Put it this way, there's nothing we can do until this blows over. Our markets are crashed, everything's done. All these businesses are going to go. A whole new system is coming in. So if we're not prepared, we're going to drive ourselves mad. This is why it's so important to stop giving yourselves false hope and false advertisement. Be real with self, tell the truth to self, because the truth will set you free and you will live happily. Now, look at it in a basic way, an example. Right now, we have to be home by 10. So that means we are getting conditioned for martial law, for the army to come in, to close us up by 10. So this is going to be this year, throughout the whole year pretty much, because they said already, oh, it seems like Corona's going to be here till July. You've got the extra strand and you've got this and you've got that. Again, until we sit back, heal self, we can never truly appreciate what is. And we're all still young, so it doesn't matter. My generation, we still got a lot of time ahead. 1 year out of our lives ain't going to do no difference. What are we going to miss out on that we haven't already done? People refuse to eat prawns because they're savages of the ocean, but then choose to eat mushrooms. That looks tasty. Very nutritious. Is that a dead tree?
Later. The next day.
People give too much power to the mind. Now, put it this way. Had I left my mind to do what it wants to do, I'd be sat on Deliveroo right now, ordering from 20 different takeaways, knowing that I'd be sick if I ate the food, yet still do it. Now, that's the mind talking to us. Now, I'll put it down to the fact that the mind has a mind of its own, the pineal gland. Now, put it this way. How can we be free if our mind is being controlled by something alien, our souls are trapped in our hearts, and our bodies are sick? Simple. You can never be free. You have never been free, and you never will be free until you begin to start to heal self.
The next day.
There's a biker on your wing, Trevor.
I am aware of this.
Well, you gotta get him off. Do a roll or something.
While the man on my wing presents no immediate danger, I'll do my best to oblige you.
So, who might this buyer be?
There's only two places this kind of hardware is gonna go.
And they are?
Up north to our Canadian cousins, where the lost were likely to be sending them. Or our other neighbors, those in the south, our neck-eating brethren.
I assume you got all kinds of connections.
But man had been created with a hole in his heart. A hole that no possession, power, or knowledge could fill. And in his infinite greed, man dreamt of expanding his dominion over the entire earth. The blood of many an elf, ogre, and goblin was spilled in their war with man. A magical crown was forged that would allow those of royal blood to command the Golden Army if unchallenged. And the next time the humans marched, they felt the earth tremble beneath their feet and saw the sky darken with monstrous shapes. The Golden Army had no remorse, felt no loyalty or pain. King Balor's heart grew heavy with regret. So he called a truce and divided the crown in 3 pieces, 1 for the humans and 2 for himself. In exchange, man would keep to the cities and the magical beings would own the forests. This truce would be honored by their sons and the sons of their sons until the end of time. But Prince Nuada did not believe in the promises of man, and it is said that he went into exile, vowing to return the day his people needed him most. So the Golden Army lay dormant, locked inside the earth, waiting the day the crown is made whole again.
Yeah, come on. Those guys, they can't be real.
Well, my son, I'm sure you'll find out.
The next day.
So I was starting to get a bit bored of this, I ain't gonna lie. But yesterday I thought, you know what, take some time out and do nothing. What's crazy is I'm at home pretty much every day, yet I don't have any time to do nothing. So yesterday I played some game, watched some films, had a long sleep.
The next day.
So for the past couple of days, my body and organs have been in pain. I end up sleeping on the floor all day and all night while massaging away at my body. Now, put it this way, our beds are not good for us. They mess up our whole body. And if you do not know the massage technique, you won't be able to do what I'm doing. I would have quit if I didn't know the massage technique. I was in that much pain. But I managed to heal up everything. Now, our bodies are proper messed up. And this massage technique, I would not massage anyone. I would show them the technique and then they have to teach themselves. In a way, it forms a bond between you and self by learning this massage technique and grow and become better in it.
The next day.
Today's day 20. I'm weighing 65 kilos and I haven't eaten or drank anything other than a little sip because my mouth is so dry it literally feels like it's bleeding. But other than that, I've proven to myself now. I know for a fact that our bodies should not eat. Eating is causing us to remain sick. It is basically a painkiller that masks up the pain that we've had in our bodies, all the illnesses. Now I've reached a point where once I get off this again, I'm going to have to eat a meal a day. Why? Because our bodies are so sick that we have a sickness that we have to clear. And that's why a meal a day should be enough for me, because I've conditioned myself to be able to heal self from all the other sickness. So imagine everyone else that eats so much how sick they really are. And it's the same with alcohol. Alcohol just clouds your judgment. Why? Because it masks the pain of your childhood traumas that you've had since you've been a child, that you haven't healed, that you've suppressed. All of this stuff is suppressed illness, suppressed traumas. That's why we eat, that's why we drink, that's why we party, to hide away the real facts of life. And people just want to read about calories and about proteins and about all of that. Well, basically, all of that stuff is to make us into consumers. It's a way of advertisement, so they can make money from us. We do not need to eat or consume vitamins or anything. I've survived this long. I have proven to self. I have proven to the world. I have proven to anything. But most importantly, I know facts. I know the truth. I don't care whoever believes me or doesn't believe me. And no one can come chat to me about this until they go themselves, condition themselves correctly and fast the way I fast, and understand that there is a force within us that is giving us energy to keep going and doing what we need to do.
The next day.
This has been my bed for the past couple of days. I'll tell you something, I've had some of the best sleeps and I feel a lot better. I've been sleeping a lot recently because due to the fact that my body's healing itself because I'm working so hard on it. Now, some would say I'm living a poor man's life, but then health is wealth, isn't it? So that means everyone living a rich life is actually becoming lazy and living an unhealthy life. Now, I put it down to our social media and to our generation that just read non-stop and then preach what they've read without understanding it, thinking it's fact, when in reality it's all false information.
The next day.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Now that's not a joke. Depending how you feel, depending how your reflection will turn out on a picture or in the mirror. For example, you might see someone, you're like, wow, you look much better in real life than you do in picture. Why? Because real life shows a real image. Simple. All this stuff is dark magic.
The next day.
I ain't gonna lie, this has been the most stressful thing I've done in my life, and at the same time the most rewarding. I've figured things out that I didn't realise that I've been lied to, that I lied to myself, that I acted out thinking was the truth. People have lied to me to make me believe something wasn't the truth when now I see everything for what it truly is, and that is beauty in itself. Now, I understand other people do similar things to this. They travel to their monasteries, to their temples. They're surrounded by teachers, people like them that help them out, like-minded people, nature. It's a holiday, you know, it's an escape. It's not reality. What I'm doing, I'm in the middle of society. It's 10 times, million times harder. I went out yesterday to go get my tyres changed. One wheel wouldn't come off. I'm having to take my car, looking around, get it welded off. It's stress. I'm having to wake up to people saying, oh, well, if you're hungry, if you're tired, oh, why don't you eat? But I'm fasting. Oh, well, you shouldn't be fasting. What you're doing is wrong. Everything's wrong. But you're ill, you're sick. How do you know? Your body's at work. People cannot talk. I'm surrounded by people that don't support me, that don't like me, and still I'm doing what I need to do. I'm in the middle of it. I don't want to hear about anything else, anyone else doing similar things, because no one's doing it in their own reality. Simple.
Later.
So for the past 3 or 4 days, I've been in and out of the toilet, flushing out my system non-stop. I'll tell you something, our system is blocked up on a whole nother level. I put it down to our intestines being full up. That's why we have intestines, because it's waste. Now, it's all mad. We can never become pure until we flush out our system. Simple.
The next day.
What people seem not to understand is we are at war right now. There's a vaccine that's been given out, so that means there's a virus out and about. They built a second White House like 13 years ago. So why would they do that for no apparent reason? Everything's been acted, orchestrated for this to happen. Like, it's blatant now. It's frustrating that people cannot see this and still want to get involved in other people's business or want to do something that doesn't add up nor make sense. Right now, there's nothing we can do other than wait this out and let it happen. Things are going to change. By the end of this year, everything is going to be different. Nothing from the old is going to be in the new. It's simple.
Later.
What confuses me is why can't people just say, I don't know? Can you explain? Rather than put it down to, oh, it doesn't make sense, so it's talking shit, or let's hurtful abuse till it goes away. And it shows society for what it really is. It's a sad society, like evil society. And things cannot carry on this way. People need to stop wanting to see people hurt for them to feel good, because this is what it is. And because they follow a certain trend does not give them the right to be better. The trend is failing. Everyone around us is sick. Everyone around us is chasing their tail, going mad, going crazy, getting involved in anything and everything but themselves. Like, how does that make sense?
The next day.
People in life love to tell people they are wrong without understanding what it is they're doing. Now, hold up, it's cold and flu season right now, so that means a lot of people are not eating, drinking correctly. That means your body's naturally starving itself to heal itself from sickness. So what I'm doing makes complete sense to heal us from the ultimate sickness, the sickness of death.
The next day.
Today's day 26. I'm feeling good. I'm starting to get used to this fasting way, and you know, it's natural to me now. I'm not fighting with myself over it. It's cool. But Muslims also do something similar to this fasting thing. So you'd think they'd respect or understand what it is I'm doing. But they boil it down to me not being Muslim, so it doesn't make sense to them. And also because I don't stuff my face in at the end of the day. They do it a little bit differently. They eat before the sun goes up, and when the sun goes up they sleep all day and then wake up before they break their fast. And when they break their fast, they have the biggest spread with every type of food under the sun. Now, that doesn't sound like it's helping your health. They're doing it for some alternative reasons by the sounds of it, or they don't understand their religion correctly. So it boils down to a lot of things. Like, people want to push their agenda because they believe they are right. Then it makes them the most delusional without understanding why the other person is doing it, because a book tells you to do something. And then you can't respect anyone else because they're not following that book. It's weird. That's what I'm saying. This whole world is weird. People would push nuclear weapons on each other just because they don't follow the same religion without even knowing who the people are. And this is what I fear out here from the world.
The next day.
This fast has been like a meditation for me. This is why I like to stay up most of the time. But don't get me wrong, sometimes you just need to sleep because your body needs to heal. I do not suggest anyone does this that doesn't know how to massage correctly. Losing this weight helped me massage so much out. And, you know, I've cleansed so much from within. I feel good about what I'm doing. I feel good about who I am. I feel good about my past. I found peace with being who I am. Peace with being self. I can be with self now and enjoy it more than anything. I enjoy my own company than people. That's the truth. Because I understand self now. I love self, and this is what's important. But again, people should not do this if they do not understand what they're doing, have not conditioned themselves, and don't know the massage technique. There's no point. You'll hurt yourself and make yourself ill. You need to know the massage technique because you go through pain. And if you don't know how to massage it out, you're in trouble. Food actually makes you high. Without it, you see so much clearer. But my body's always weak, so we got to eat. Like, our whole life is backwards. Everyone. And we sit here and we accept it and say nothing or do nothing. It don't make sense.
The next day.
Day 28. I'm weighing 64 kilos, so I've lost 6 kilos in the process of not eating or drinking other than the little sip, that's it. So how does that make sense? Other than the simple fact we've been lied to about everything. But people are too sensitive. They don't want to hear the truth. The truth bothers them because I've been telling the truth and no one wants to hear me say nothing. But I'm proving again, our food, our water consumption is all wrong. It's all facade, it's all fake. I've even managed to straighten out my teeth through massage. Throughout this process, I've learned that our hearts have way more energy than we know. Our bodies are super blocked, that they need massaging from every bruise and every sprain we've had since we've been children. And it's easy to get brainwashed back into the system. That's why it's so important that you drop out anyone that is not serving your rightful purpose.
Later.
With all the uncertainty going on in the world, one thing's for sure, we have a lot to heal in ourselves. So take time out, concentrate on yourselves. You can never please anyone, so there's no point trying. They'll always have something to say. So please yourselves, be yourselves. Don't let this world make you crumble. We will show them we will keep going and we will make it. And no matter what you throw at us, we're resilient and powerful from within, and that will shine brighter than anything in this world.
The next day.
If you have not tried a cold lint, you have not lived.
The next day.
The way I see things now is that I'm no longer 30. I'm reborn. I'm 1 year of age. I'm basically studying everything from fresh. Everything from before is nonsense. We are not educated. We are dumb. It's simple. It's time to accept what is and start learning the truth. That there is a portion of a meal. This here is my daily allowance of liquid. Sip, sip, sip per meal. Now I understand why the Prophet used to say you have to have a handful of food and 3 sips per meal. They integrated this into religion to make us eat, to make us sick, to make us die. Now it all makes sense. They were the ones who poisoned us with food. Now we have to go back to basics by eating that way in order for us to cleanse ourselves from the parasite within, from the curse of death. Now it's simple. We understand now that our bodies are sick. We are sick. We have an energy within, our heart, soul energy that keeps us going without food, without drink. Simple stuff. Our bodies are so sick that we can't control ourselves from having children. They just happen by accident. Now that's why we go and have abortions. But then an abortion is a blood sacrifice. Had we been able to control what we do with our bodies, we weren't sick, we would have a child whenever we want to have a child. Simple stuff. Get back to basics, heal yourselves. So I've been eyeing this up all month. What? No one wants to see me eat soup, let's be honest. The chocolate dates I made. Amazing. That Chiltern chocolate just, oh. I won't make myself feel alright. Now I found this in the fridge. It's probably my sister's. I don't know what it is, but like society's told us, if you don't know what it is, it can't hurt you. So, a sushi bite of whatever it could be, I don't know. Sauce. Some sauce. Oh, wow. That sauce a bit too. That sauce a bit too. Oh, that's a bit. Oof, that's a bit too much. Wow, I think that is all for now. Now, if you've enjoyed my diary and you've got this far, go on, give it a like. Why not?